Let's get the show started. How'd you like my spin? I mean, that spin alone deserves at least a like or two. I mean, let me know how you like that spin. Maybe I can incorporate more spins into my show. But we're not here to talk about the way I spin, but I do want to talk about the way people spend. And I'm talking about trendy clothing. People, I get it, trendy clothing can be cool. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that you shouldn't spend money on trendy clothing. What I'm gonna tell you though is that you shouldn't spend big money on trendy clothing. You see, the difference between style and fashion/trends is that style sticks around for a while. It takes quite some time for style to go out of style. Fashion/trends are pretty much quick. They come and go really quickly. They catch the eye. So on this episode, I'm gonna tell you about trends that people are absolutely loving right now. Some people, not all, that they're spending big money on. And I'm telling you here, don't spend big money on these because you're gonna regret it down the line, maybe about a month or two. Not even sometimes. And you're gonna say to yourself, why the hell did I do that? Unless you have like Jeff Bezos money or Kardashian money, knock yourself out in that case. But if you don't, well, don't do it. A big trend that's going on right now that I absolutely hate and I don't understand it, but people are loving it, it's the ugly trend. I hate the ugly movement. It's purposely done. I mean, think about this. You're buying clothing that was purposely made to be ugly. And if you're going to buy clothing that's not very pleasing to the eye because you want to be trendy, by all means knock yourself out, but I just don't recommend it. With very few exceptions on the list, I hate almost everything that I'm going to talk about. And the next thing I absolutely hate, and I'm talking about chunky sneakers. Oh, no. It's been a trend for about the last year or so. I refuse to call it style. It's not stylish. It's a trend. It's lasted a little bit longer than I expected it to. By all means, can we just stop these ugly sneakers, these ugly chunky sneakers? You know, you got companies like Balenciaga doing it and Yeezy. And I've talked about this in the past. I still think that fashion companies are trolling men, but I digress. Some of these ugly chunky sneakers are pricey, and I'm talking about they're just so hard on the eyes. I don't recommend spending big money on it, and honestly, why would you want to spend big money on this? You look ridiculous. Some things that we're seeing right now were really popular in the 90s. Can you believe that the 90s was almost 30 years ago? Take a second to think about that. Sheesh. Either way, you're seeing a lot of 90s styles come back. The next two things that I want to talk about are really 90s influence. The first thing I'm going to talk about are small frame sunglasses or glasses. Okay, I don't mind that as much. I wouldn't wear it myself, but I don't totally hate the small frame sunglasses or glasses. And you also have those sunglasses, the ones that are really large, thick, that are very colorful. They're somewhat obnoxious. Once again, I don't hate this trend. I just won't do it. It's just not what I do. I'm a risk taker, but that's a little too trendy for me. And I'm not looking to drop $300 on a pair of glasses, sunglasses that is, that I'm gonna throw away in about a year or so. Nonetheless, I'm gonna stick with my aviators, my Wayfarers. They're much cooler and honestly, they're a classic style. Now the other 90s trend that I wanna talk about, it's oversized clothing. Think about the early 90s, how people were wearing big jeans, big shirts, large overalls. Look, it's a trend, it's not gonna last very long. Most men want to wear clothing that's either tapered or at least just closer to the body. If you're someone that's very self-conscious about your size, avoid this trend by all means. This is the one trend that you definitely don't want to do. People are loving the oversized clothing or the dad jeans. Not quite me. I'll stick to my slim cut jeans. So guys, have fun with that. Last on my list, I want to talk about hype clothing. Hype clothing can be very, very expensive. I'm talking about to the point that it makes me, I'm just baffled. You know, there's a lot of hyped gear out there. And I get some of the hype and I think some of it is kind of cool. But dude, I mean, hype gear goes out of style like you can't believe. I mean, it comes and goes. And sometimes you'll see that they'll pump out new apparel and people are like, oh, I gotta have it, I gotta have it, I gotta have it. They spend that big money and then they regret it, you know, 2 months down the line. Don't get me wrong. Some of the Supreme stuff can be cool. Some of the Yeezy stuff can be cool. Not all. Most of it I think is garbage. If you're seeing people like Kanye West wearing clothing that's like, you know, it's super trendy, he can afford to do that, okay? And he's a very trendy person. That's what Kanye does. And look, there are companies out there who are making trendy clothing that they're not gonna drain your bank account. And I'm talking about companies like H&M, Zara, Topman. they are making some pretty trendy clothing that you can say, oh, that's kind of cool. I guess I could spend $50 on that or $70 versus $500, $600. If you don't have the money to back it up, don't buy this trendy clothing. It comes and goes. You can find inexpensive versions of these pieces and you're gonna feel just fine about it, because 3 months down the line, when no one's wearing it anymore and they look at you like you're crazy for rocking it, you just say, well, I guess I got my $60 worth out of it. So there you have it. I don't hate trendy clothing. No, I don't appreciate some styles as much as I would appreciate others, but nonetheless, I don't hate it. And if you want to spend your money on trendy clothing, go out there and do it. It's your money. This is just a video made to help you out and trying to figure out what to do and how to spend your money on trendy clothing. Hopefully you enjoy watching this episode. I know I enjoyed making it. And by all means, just be fiscally responsible when buying trendy clothing. With that being said, happy spending, happy shopping. Peace.